Hi, my name's Sam, my pronouns are they, them, and welcome back to my office. So, I'm starting this very late in the month because it's been a little chaotic. Right now it's February 19th, but we're going to pull it together and get it done because I really want to do this. But this is going to be a little vlog of reading all of Talia Hibbert's, all three of her girls, for the Get a Life Chloe Brown series. I don't know what it's actually called, but I've been putting off reading this for a little while now, and what finally got me was I saw a review for Act Your Age Eve Brown, and oh boy am I a sucker for, first of all, Grumpy Sunshine romances, and second of all, like bed and breakfast, like Lifetime vibes. I'm a sucker for it. So I'm going to take you guys along as I kind of work my way through all three of them. Get a Life Chloe Brown, I'll start with this one. She's a chronically ill character who almost died, I believe, and now she's got this little bucket list of things that she wants to get done after she's had her near-death experience. And she meets this dude, I guess she spies on him a little bit, and she wants his help in getting a portion of that list done. So that one's all about them, which I'm pretty excited for. I think it's going to be interesting. I don't think I've ever read anything quite like it. And then next is Take a Hint, Dani Brown, which I literally just read the back of this because I didn't hear anything about it when it came out. I was not in the loop, and I should have been, but I wasn't. So Dani Brown is a PhD student, and something goes wrong in a fire drill. So this dude, I think it's Zafir, he saves her from an incident in that fire drill, and they do some fake dating, and she's trying to seduce him, but he wants, like, a little romance in his life, and she's not down for the romance. So, yeah, fake dating. Act Your Age Eve Brown. Oh, how I am so excited for this in every possible way. So, Eve is chaotic and fun, and she does something wrong at a wedding, and her parents cut her off. So she goes to try and get a job as a chef at this little bed and breakfast, and the owner is just like, oh, absolutely not. You are not bringing this chaos into my house. And then she hits him with her car and breaks his arm. So she stays to help, and chaos ensues from there, and there's a little Grumpy Sunshine romance going on, and I cannot wait. I'm so excited. So I guess I will keep everyone updated, and we're just gonna see how this goes. Okay, so first checked-in is a little bit late, but that's okay. So I'm on page 209 of Get a Life Chloe Brown by Talia Hibbert right now. It's cute. I regret not picking it up sooner. You know, it's one of those things where it's like you've been putting this off for a while and you're just sitting there and you're like, oh, I really screwed myself over. Which is fine, but it's really cute right now. I really like Chloe Brown as a character. I really enjoy, like, the scenes where you get to see where her wall kind of starts to come down a tiny bit, and the differences between who she feels she needs to be and who she actually is. I also really love the fact that her joking sounds more like she's serious than when she's actually serious. I think that's adorable, honestly. I don't know, I just think it's sweet. I don't know how much I love Red as a character. Like, I he's definitely been growing on me. I don't know. I think that the more I get to know him, the more I like him, which is kind of what's so interesting about him. I didn't find him to be super likable at first. You know, I guess this is kind of a version of like Grumpy Sunshine in a way, but I didn't like his like version of Sunshine at first. I thought it just was kind of like ingenuine in a way. And the more that he opens up, the more that I see like the genuine emotion behind him. So he's growing on me. The one thing that I do want to see is more of a relationship between Chloe, Dani, and Eve. And I only say that because I'm going to read Dani and Eve's books, so like I know they're there, so I want to know more about them already. But that's honestly just because I know that they're there and their romances are coming and I'm excited for them. But I really love Chloe. I love that she, you know, is this really interesting, like, kind of, I don't want to say selfless person, but she has, like, some really interesting, genuine care for other people. And I think that the way she shows that care and that love and that affection is the most interesting part about like getting to know her as a character. But I think the story is just cute. And I don't want to say anything that's like super spoilery at this point, but it's just sweet. And it's getting a little steamy, and you can never say no to steamy. I know that this is not Talia Hibbert's like steamiest series. I know that she has more, but this is nice. This is like cute, sweet February like romance. Honestly, I'll probably try and finish it tonight, so I'll try and give more frequent updates on that one. So I'll talk to you guys later. Okay, so I am on page 294 of Get a Life, Chloe Brown. Oh my god, it's so cute. Why is it so cute? Like, we've finally gotten past the beginning of the fear of vulnerability, and they're finally like doing their thing and being together and having good sexual interactions, and doing their thing. And I just think they're so cute. And Red is his character development. It's just working for me. So they're currently camping, and I might die. But I've only got less than 100 pages left of this, so I'll definitely finish this today. But so far, it's just mushy and cute, and it's got like the slightest tinge of kinkiness, which is nice. It's very subtle. At least I think it's subtle. But it's just mushy and soft, and you gotta love a good mushy romance. Hi. So bear with the lighting. It's like 5 o'clock, and it's starting to get dark, and I haven't figured out lighting in my office very well yet, especially with my hair casting the most severe shadow to ever exist. But I finished Get a Life, Chloe Brown, and oh my god, it was so mushy. It was, okay, I haven't read like a good mushy romance in so long. First of all, let's talk about Chloe. I loved her character development. I thought that the progression of her, like how we came to know her, when we started acknowledging like the little vulnerabilities in her, were all really well timed, and I felt like I saw some real growth in her and her confidence within herself, really, because she comes off as like a super confident person. That's another one of the things that I really loved. I loved that this had some fat representation that was just, it was just there. Like, it didn't really matter. It wasn't like a really big part of the story. It was just like, yes, she is a fat Black woman just living her life, doing her thing. She didn't give a single shit at all. Everything that she had like real insecurities about were built around like her chronic illness, really, but not the illness itself. It was the way that other people treated her. So just to see her progression and like her growth and the confidence that she gained was really wonderful to read. Like, it was just heartwarming, and it was kind of inspiring in a way. Like, not in the, oh, I feel like I could be that, but in the like, you go. Like, you did that. You rocked your shit. And you know you rocked your shit. But like, her romance itself, like, the sex scenes were just sweet with like just a hint of some kink in there, like just a tiny hint, which was really nice because it wasn't like full-blown like hardcore smut, which I definitely wasn't looking for hardcore smut. I was looking for soft, mushy romance, and that's what I got. And like the subtle portions of it where he would like it's noted that he was just grabbing her stomach, grabbing her thighs, like all of the little touching details, they were just so good. They were so good. You gotta love like a gentle caress moment. But also Red's progression, like I really didn't like Red in the beginning. I thought he was too positive. I really did. I was like, you are too positive, you are too smiley, you are too friendly. Like, I'm gonna need this to stop. But to just watch him kind of acknowledge his shit and then start working through it. Like, he wasn't really acknowledging it at first, and as the farther we go in, the more he starts to acknowledge it and acknowledge, like, this is a problem. I should really work through this. It made him likable. And it just, in the end, with Smudge, oh my god. It was so cute. Like, the last 50 pages really, really had me. Because we were getting towards the end, and there was, like, this tiny little chunk left, and, like, everything was going good. And everything was happy. Everyone was good. And then I like, sat there, and I internally panicked, and I was like, oh no. Something's gonna go wrong. Nothing has really gone wrong yet. Something is gonna go wrong. And it did. As it always does. But you know what? It was wrapped up really nicely. That ended in a really good progression of their relationship in like a really healthy way. Which I appreciated, especially because this had abusive relationships for past characters. But overall, this was just cute. It was 5 stars. I really loved it. Which this just makes me more excited to get into Take a Hint, Dani Brown. Because I know that it's just going to be different. I know it's going to be a different kind of story, because you can already feel like the confidence radiating off of Dani that you didn't see in Chloe. Chloe clearly had her shit together. Like, she was obviously from the start a boss ass bitch, and she had it together despite all of the things that made her life not super easy. She had it together. She gives off the vibes of like, I've got it together and nothing's gonna stop me. And like extroverted, like socially has her shit together. So I'm excited to see where this one goes. And I hope that it is mushy too. Because you know what? I need some mushy in my life. And I know that actor Eve Brown, which is across the room right now, is going to be mushy. But I don't know what's going to come of Dani. So far, really good. 5-star. Loving it. Excited. Anxious. I'm going to get started now. So hi, it's currently the 23rd of February. I'm going to do like the quickest update on Take a Hint Dani Brown possible because I have to run to work, but I'm on page 329. I'm almost done with it, and it's been like a day and some change. It's so incredibly good. This is the one that I didn't know how I would really feel about it, how I would really work with it, and oh my god, Dani is just, I just love her. I love her so incredibly much. I think she is indescribably perfect, truly. I think she is one of my favorite characters, besides both of the main characters in Honey Girl by Morgan Rogers. I've read Honey Girl like 3 times. I'm gonna read it again because I'm obsessed with that, but that'll be something different. Dani Brown, how I could write just a love oath about Dani Brown. Like, she's smart and she's funny and she's caring and she's just like doing her thing. Like, it doesn't even matter to anyone else. And she has this thought process that she's not this caring, wonderful person because of like abusive relationship and trauma and shit. I just want to shake her and I want to be like, you're doing everything right in the way that you need to do it. There's nothing wrong with that. You're expressing your emotions in the ways that you know how, in the ways that feel comfortable for you, and I just love to see it. I just love to see it so much. I also really love that Talia Hibbert is really focusing on, this is who she is, this is how she functions, but there could be improvements to it. So she's a severe workaholic to the point where she's not taking care of herself in a physical or emotional manner. So that's where improvements can arise, not in other places where it might be seen as like changing who she is as a person. She's really like taking the essence of this person who might not be the most romantic and I guess what society would say is like emotionally functional. I don't really know. That's how I'm going to choose to say it at 7 a.m. on a Wednesday. But she's just making the alterations that are needed to show healthy coping mechanisms and healthy lifestyles while still keeping her an essence of this wonderful, smart, beautiful human. And I love Zaf too. Don't get me wrong, I really love him. He's just great. Like, he's a male love interest that I could really, like, I really loved him for his grumpiness and the way that, like, I really like the idea of, like, grouchy on the outside but very loving to very specific people. I really love that about him, which I think is where I went wrong with Red in Get a Life, Chloe Brown, because he was too nice. He was too nice. I couldn't do it. But Zaf is so much better. But I feel bad because it's just like you're being overshadowed, Zaf, by Dani, because she's the love of my life at this point. I would do anything for her, truly. So, like, I can't really gush about you when there's Dani in all her glory. So this has been 5 minutes of me rambling. I need to run to work now, so I'll update you guys when I finish. So right now it is the 27th of February. I haven't checked in a couple days, and that is only because I might have been speed reading a little bit. So I finished all 3 of Chloe Brown books. You'll see that there are 4 books here because I now own 2 copies of Act Your Age, Eve Brown. One of my copies just had 30 pages of a Neil Gaiman book in them instead of my actual book, so I had to go buy a new copy, but I finished all of them. So I'm pretty sure the last time I checked in, I was just finishing up Take a Hint, Dani Brown, and gushing about how much I love Dani, because she's an angel. I still feel exactly the same. She is a perfect angel. I loved the ending to this. I thought it was adorable and romantic and sweet. It was a really nice ending to what I think they both learned about how to have a successful relationship with each other and how compromises should be made between the two of them. I thought it was a really nice way to end it, and their little, like, epilogue after was so adorable in every way, shape, and form. But it was just perfect in every possible way. Take a Hint, Dani Brown. Amazing. Took me maybe like 2 or 3 days to read it. And then this morning, I just finished Act Your Age, Eve Brown. This one I finished in 3 days, where I probably would have finished this in a day if I had had the time. Sadly, I didn't. But I loved it. I think out of the 3 books, this one is probably my least favorite. But that doesn't say much. I loved this. I loved Eve as a character, and I loved Jacob. I thought they were really interesting, and I really liked that this ended up being an autistic love story, but it wasn't like promoted as an autistic love story. It was just a grumpy sunshine love story between 2 autistic people. And I really loved it. I just thought this was very sweet. And I thought that while Chloe and Dani definitely were adorable and sweet, they had their own issues that they needed to deal with. I thought that this one showed a lot more growth for Eve as a person. I don't want to say that she did not change, but I do want to say that she just kind of embraced the parts of herself that maybe other people didn't really appreciate and see, and maybe that she didn't really appreciate or see. She just became more accepting of herself through this love story, where I feel like Chloe and Dani, they had a little bit more of a change in the way that they are, I guess is how I want to say it. Dani kind of grew to understand that her pushing herself beyond belief was not a functional way of life. And she put in the effort to make that big change. And Chloe understood that her life and the way that she functioned was not fulfilling enough for her. but she also had to come to the realization that the way that other people might find their lives fulfilling is not the way that she is going to find her life fulfilling. I felt like Eve, while she did have those big personal change moments where she was like, what I am doing at this point and the way that I was doing things previously, like, they're not working for me, let me change them. I think that she also came to a bigger understanding of who she is and how she functions within the world. Even within her own family structure to an extent. And she ultimately didn't need to make a change to herself and the way that she communicates, as much as she just needed to make the change to understand that this is just how she is, and to value that part of herself instead of trying to like hide it to please other people. So I really liked this. I really liked Jacob as a character. I thought he was fun. I thought he was fun grumpy. And, you know, I'm a sucker for like a good grumpy sunshine, which is why I was so excited for this. It definitely fulfilled that for me. And I thought their romance was cute and sweet. And I like the fact that we really got to watch them go from like a, oh, I detest you, to like, oh my god, I'm in love with you. And I just thought it was sweet. So I guess we'll do a little bit of an overall breakdown of the series, since I managed to read them all three of them within like a week, while also going to work full-time, a little more than full-time, and very clearly dyeing my hair and taking care of all my other stuff. So clearly I loved them because I flew through them. Get a Life, Chloe Brown was definitely a 5-star for me. I loved Chloe, loved her dearly. I grew to love Red. Red initially was not my favorite, but I grew to love him. I thought their romance was sweet. I thought that as someone who is not chronically ill, I thought that reading about Chloe gave me a different perspective on things. I have no right to say whether it was good representation or anything, but it definitely got me thinking about chronic illness and how it affects people, and it just gave me a different outlook on everything. It seemed like good representation. It didn't seem like bad representation. But I'm certainly not an authority to say anything on that point. On the fat rep on here, oh my god, I did not realize how much I needed like the normalization of like a soft, squishy tummy in a steamy romance. I needed it. I needed it. I'll never live without it. This is everything for me now. So, 5-star, love, sweet, adorable, amazing, incredible, cannot live without. Take a hint, Dani Brown. 5 stars. I could give it more than 5 stars. Truly, this was my favorite out of the series. I felt Dani on such an emotional level. I got to live vicariously through Dani Brown, which I needed. I really needed. She was strong. She was a bad bitch. She was everything. Truly everything. The shaved head. Loved it. Loved it. I just loved her as a character. I loved the way that she was super interested in, like, that witchy aspect and the familial aspect of it, even though it wasn't directly from her family, just because of those lost lines that she never really got to explore. I loved that part of it. I loved watching her growth and understanding boundaries that are needed between work and joy. I loved the fact that even at the end when she got hobbies, she was very much all or nothing on them. And I loved Zaph. He was sweet. He was the epitome of grumpy, but like loving towards her and just her alone. And oh my god, he was just so sweet. And seeing him and his progression through like the trauma of his family, the family deaths, his relationship with his niece, his relationship with the boys that he worked, I think it was rugby. The boys that he worked on rugby with, and just his growth of like, I work so hard with these kids to work on their emotional well-being, and I'm missing a little part of that for myself. I just thought that the two of them together were so incredibly well-rounded, and their character stories, like all of it, was so amazingly developed. It was hot. It was fun. It was everything I could have needed wrapped up in this little book. This book is not even 400 pages, which is a small book for me. So, everything. Actor age Eve Brown. I am a little torn on this one. Right now, I'm leaving it at a 4.5 star. I don't know if I want to bump it up to that 5 star or not. I feel the need to think about it. I only finished it maybe like an hour ago. So I think that I need to think about it a little bit and come back to that. But I loved it for the fact that it was like a fantastic autistic story. You know, I'm in the midst of an autism diagnosis and whatever, so all of that aside, it makes things feel a little bit more normal. I just thought it was nice to have. Like, it was a really nice surprise. So I was going into this and I was super excited for my grumpy sunshine Hallmark moment. And I got an autistic love story with a man who hates geese. I mean, I just thought that was a nice little touch. But watching them unintentionally fall for each other was just sweet and amazing and fun. They were fun more than anything else. Watching Eve fall in love with cooking and taking care of people and realizing that that's a valuable skill, it was fun. I flew through it. Like, there were a bunch of days that I stayed up till like midnight reading this because I didn't really have many other options if I wanted to finish it, and I desperately wanted to finish it. They were hot together, but in a very sweet way. Like, it was a very different kind of hot, rather than Chloe and Dani. Like, they just were so emotional and so sweet after everything, but like, she was just so goofy and fun, and he was just like this serious dude who you only get that sprinkling of like fun and joking, and the more that starts to come out, the more you realize that you're seeing him, who he is. And I just thought that was a super sweet progression. I thought him caring enough to introduce her to people was amazing, because he's acknowledging that he's a little bit more of a solitary person and she's not particularly like that, but he doesn't think her friends from back home are worthy of such an amazing lady as she is. I loved it for what it is. But that was it. That was it. So I read the entirety of the Get a Life Chloe Brown series within a week. And I loved it. I learned vlogging is hard, because I didn't want to put these down until I was literally falling asleep. I fell asleep on the couch reading this last night, and I woke up at 3 a.m. to my girlfriend asking me to come to bed. So vlogging is very hard when you're someone who gets wrapped up in a book very easily and does not like to be stopped for anything. So they were great. I loved them. I'm super happy with this. Okay, hi. So clearly some different things have happened. Right now it is 6 months later. I still stand by everything I said. Dani Brown is still like my favorite. I still hold it very near and dear to my heart. And I just think that the series was so worth it. Sometimes you need something that's like mushy and soft and sweet and loving, and that you don't want to like sob over every second. And I think that was what the series did for me. So I really loved it. I'm planning on picking up some more Talia Hibbert, hopefully soon. If any of you have any recommendations for anything that kind of gives off the same vibes, especially as Take a Hint, Dani Brown, that would be amazing, because I've definitely been looking for something like that, and maybe I haven't been looking hard enough. And I will see everyone in my next video. Bye!